My childhood, it kind of sucked. From a young age, I had chicken pox down my throat, which was internal chicken pox, which you don't bounce back from right away. I gained weight like crazy. I was going to a Catholic school, and the bigger you were, the longer the skirt, and my skirt went down past my knees. I was made fun of. I was tormented. I just basically gave up on life. I got to a point where I was so confused. I just started believing what people were telling me. I started believing that I was ugly. I started believing that I was worthless. And then I started doing drugs. Before Eastside Academy, I liked drugs. Drugs were my best friend. Drugs were my everything. And once I had no people left to do drugs with, drugs were always there for me. It was something that I could trust as a whole. I could trust it, and it would never go away from me. I could always end up finding it, no matter what it was. I would do it just so I could disappear, because I lost myself while I was using drugs. And the only way I felt like I could find it again was doing more and more and more. And how has Eastside Academy helped you? Well, I actually have over 7 months sober right now. And that is a big step, because when I was using, I didn't even have, it was difficult for me to tell you that I had 3 hours clean, because 3 hours of one substance in my body was never, that was just, that's unacceptable. That doesn't happen.
So really a common thing that I see is that of brokenness and trying to find identity in things that weren't meant to satisfy us, whether that be drugs or whether that be the abuse that people have suffered in the ways that they've sinned and been sinned against, and really just trying to pursue that, be defined by that rather than being defined by things of eternal substance.
So I would say, with the kids I've worked with, most of them I would say very bright, very smart kids. They have a lot of talents, and I think that normal high schools have cut a lot of those programs out, and so that there isn't a place in normal high schools for these kids to fit in with their talents. And they're often sensitive kids that have turned to drugs and alcohol to help with that pain. The biggest piece I've learned about these kids while working at Eastside Academy is that building relationships with them has been paramount. I think getting to know them and letting them get to know you has opened up this amazing window for me. It has helped me grow. I feel like I've learned so much from these kids.
Childhood was rough. I really had a dad. My biological dad wasn't there. My stepdad was not much of a dad. He was just more of a power figure. And I always was goofing off, just getting into trouble. And that took a toll. I was always getting punished. I was always grounded, or I couldn't play video games, and I never really had a social life. I was just always stuck in my room and avoiding people. And that went on for a while. Right before coming to EA, it was just, I'd go out, I'd smoke 4 times a day, come home, nap, and eat, and then watch TV or play a couple video games or listen to music. And then go out the next day and do it again. Hang out with friends, get high, eat whatever food you could find, steal food from QFC or something, and just kind of waste your life away. And that was my life for a while before EA.
Their hope is typically stolen away by the experiences they have had at other schools and their belief that they will not be successful in school. And we get the privilege of demonstrating to them through the love of Christ that they can be successful. In my job, I get the opportunity to work with a team of people who passionately love our students and who get to serve them each and every day, not just in education, but in life. And we get to develop personal relationships with our students, which I absolutely adore. It's what I love about this job the most. In other jobs that I've worked in with students, we don't get to serve them in quite the same way. We don't get to know them as unique human beings. We don't get to know what their personal struggles are. But at Eastside Academy, we get to know each and every student as an individual. We get to know what about them they need help with. We get to know what about them makes them who they are. And thus we get to know how we can serve them as an individual. And at Eastside Academy, that is what makes this school such a wonderful place to be, because it is a group of individuals who gets to be a group of actual individual people, and we all bring our strengths and weaknesses to the table and work together as a family. The staff and students alike get to work together and to form relationships together, to form a bond of people who love one another, support one another through the good times and sometimes the very difficult times, and together we get to see each other overcome obstacles in ways that I have not seen anywhere else that I have been working with students, and I absolutely love being here on a daily basis.